This is an assembly video for the Twitching Banshee from Spirit Halloween. The first step is to take the floor plate and we're going to add these things right here, which are just to help keep this thing from tipping over. Like so. And you're going to add that on both sides so that this thing is a little bit more stable. Now, conveniently, if you do have to move this around, these things will roll in, and then when you set it back flat, you're just going to pop them out to the side like that. The next step is to take these, which are labeled letter C, and you want to insert them into the foot plate. Now, you want to find where there's a hole here, and that is going to go into the foot plate like this so that it locks into place. You will have to press that little thing down with your thumb and it clicks into place again, which is great because if you need to move this thing around, it's not going to just slide right off of that pole. Repeat with the other side, and then we're going to add the other two on top of those. Now we're going to add the close so that later it's going to be easier to lift this thing up. You can find the Velcro part, that's going to be the back, and find the opening and then just drape that over top. And then just go ahead and for now, just let this fall down to the ground. And we'll come back to that in a moment. Okay, next up is part D. This is the motor. And you're gonna have a cable hanging out of that, so just make sure you keep track of where that is because you will need it later. And we're just gonna, again, line these up, push down and pop it into place. Just like that. Next, you're going to take this ring, which is labeled E, I believe, or E or F. I think it's an E. That goes around and into these little holes that will help form the waist. And now the torso and the sound machine. Again, this is going to have two wires hanging out the back, so keep track of where those are. Lock that into place. Now, if you happen to be using a step pad or remote control unit, you'd want to plug that into this box now. I am going to plug the AC adapter in to the back of this unit now, so I don't have to think about it later. I'm also going to take these two white ones and plug them together now, so that I don't have to think about that later. Now we're going to move the dress up. Make sure those wires are fed down inside. And we're going to work this all the way up over the torso. And then we're going to, now I'm going to attach this Velcro in the back here just temporarily so that it's easier to have this hold in place for now. There we go. And now we're going to attach the arms. Now to do that, I'm going to feed this up the sleeve. Get that nice and opened up and just insert this into the sleeve. And then you're going to try to find that on the inside, and you're going to attach, there's a two-prong like this, you're going to attach that in the two holes in the shoulder area, which that'll allow the arms to dangle. But as this thing is animating, these will be able to move around so it looks like they're alive. And the same thing with the left arm. Now we get to attach the head. My favorite part of this whole animatronic. Now I'm just going to work the hair out of the way a little bit, and this will just click again right into place like so. And now in the head you're going to find a wire, and we're going to want to plug that wire in to the wire that's hanging out of the back of the sound box. Now the final step is to adjust the Velcro. Here I'm going to adjust it around that sensor. So the sensor is sticking out. And then around the back, you're going to attach the dress with all the little Velcro spots. And there we go. She is now fully assembled. Freaky. So there you go, that's how you assemble this thing. I think it's the coolest animatronic that I have, and I have a ton of animatronics. I would highly recommend this one. So every time I buy an animatronic of any kind, I always, most of the time, try to customize it a little bit just so it doesn't look like it's just straight from the store. And for this, I actually think it looks almost perfect. So, but I had an idea, and my idea is if I take perma wet blood, so it's fake blood that always looks fresh, it always looks wet, and when she tilts her head forward, I imagine just blood just oozing out of her mouth down onto the dress. So I thought if I poured some of this into the mouth while it's in this position, as she's moving around, every time her jaw drops down, it's gonna look like she just had all this blood spill out. So we're gonna try that, and hopefully it looks really good, and hopefully I don't ruin this. So we'll see. And I put down some cardboard and stuff so I don't get this on the floor. And I also put some tape over the sensor here because you don't want to get this on that because you'll never get it off. So I covered that with some tape, and I'm going to do the blood. I'm trying to avoid that area anyway as much as I can, and we'll see how it looks. And now I just need to let that drip down naturally so that it looks like it's just flowing, and then let it dry. And it'll dry looking this wet. If it dries like that, it's going to roll down a little bit further, but it'll always look like it's totally fresh and wet. So yeah, I think that looks pretty cool, and hopefully it'll come all the way down to here. But if you want to customize yours and make it look even scarier, that's my recommendation.